Welcome back to a family business podcast. Today, our topic is going to be a day in the life of a real estate family. This will be really interesting.
Who did you wait? Brad recently got his own ChatGPT. Did your ChatGPT give you this topic, or where'd you come up with this?
This is from your ChatGPT, so this is going to be great.
I can't wait.
I did get my own ChatGPT on Saturday, so I'm excited about that. I am now in the 21st century.
Now you got to train it.
I know. I had to correct it a few times. We are taking a trip to Europe and had to teach it the way that I dress and, that I didn't have quite as much room. It's amazing how this thing talks to you.
Did you have to teach it that you wear a t-shirt underneath everything, but that you don't need them for this trip?
Right.
Okay.
Because originally it had way too many clothes. And I said, I don't have that much room. It's like talking to somebody.
Complex.
It's amazing.
PT, at least we don't have to answer the dumb questions anymore. ChatGPT can.
That's true.
That's right.
I can dumb talk with ChatGPT now. Eh?
For those of you that are on any of our group text messages, I'm sorry, the dumb questions will not come as frequently from Brad anymore.
That's right.
Well, no, that will never stop.
Well, that
Just
that's
depends on the
probably
type
true.
of day.
Right. Exactly.
Oh.
All right. Well, let's talk about a day in the life of a real estate agent, and especially being family. We'll break that down here a little bit. So we wake up in the morning, and what's your routine, Andrea?
You want my routine?
Yeah.
Is this a routine that I dream of every day?
No,
Yeah,
this is
right.
what you do.
Well, I know, but okay. So typically,
Well, let's
Honesty.
just say that you
on
just
a
have a
perfect
normal
day.
day.
On
Yes.
a perfect
Yep.
normal
Yep.
day, we don't have dogs waking up in the middle of the night puking. We don't get woken up by the dogs. We didn't forget to turn off the alarm and then accidentally open the door. You mean not one of those days?
Correct.
Okay. So typically speaking, our alarm goes off between 6:30 and 6:45. Some days I push the snooze till 7. But then I'm mad at myself because then I'm behind all day. It's like I'm chasing those 15 minutes every day. So then, okay. Get up. I literally walk out. I'm one of those people I have to set out my stuff the night before. So, I walk out to the counter. I drink a glass of, this is so weird, you guys are going to think. I heat up water in the microwave and then I take and squeeze a whole fresh lemon into it. I drink that about as fast as I can, feed the dogs. That's supposed to be Brad's job, but usually he does not do it unless I'm
Most
not
of the
around.
time.
Wrong.
When you're not around, I do.
Then I usually look at social media to see on my little Real Trends app that if I'm supposed to be posting right now or not supposed to be posting. And then typically what happens is if I have a post drafted on my iPad, it won't be on my phone because I don't know why they don't sync. So then I have to find my iPad and see if I have to post it or whatever. I should really learn how to schedule posts, which I just don't trust it because I'm type A and controlling. Then I will go for a walk and do my rosary. And then I come back and I either go to Pilates or HotWorks, depending on the day. And then do I have to keep going?
No,
Okay.
I am going to actually kind of break that down. And if you want to answer,
You're going to talk
as
about my
well,
morning?
PT,
Break
Oh.
it down.
Break it down.
let's kind of talk about when that gets disrupted. Does that happen any morning when you wake up at 7:00 a.m. and you see an email and you're like, uh-oh?
I don't do that. You do that.
I do.
I was just gonna say
Explain how you adjust.
yeah. It throws off my entire morning. I do everything that like they tell you not to do. I wake up, I get on my phone, I scroll for about 15 minutes, maybe longer, and then you finally get up, and then it depends too. It's funny to see how you react to something. So like if there was something that came in when you put do not disturb on and you roll over and you see that gets you going a little bit quicker than nothing being there. So they teach you to, I believe they teach you to not look at your phone and just do a million things when you wake up so you're ready when someone
and
does need you.
Drink water right away too, right?
And do push-ups.
Which I drink coffee right away.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, that
You know
kind
what?
of sounds, yeah.
But some days I do actually, and I resisted. Last night I almost did it. We went to bed early last night. We went to bed at like 9:30 because we were so tired. And so I woke up a little earlier, and I also woke up like around 3:30, 4 o'clock, which was a dog issue, but not for throwing up. But anyway, and our dogs don't normally throw up.
No,
That's this is not a normal thing. But anyway,
occurrence.
I was like, ooh, I should roll over and look at my phone. But then I didn't, because I knew if I would have looked at my phone at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, I never would have back to sleep, because then the 50,000 things would have went through my head. Yep. So I try not to allow you're usually the hijacker of my morning. I try not to let Brad, because Brad does. He'll get up and he'll look at his email and he'll start scrolling through it. And like literally, we have cameras in our house. I know that's weird, whatever. They're really for our dogs and we shut them off when we're in the rooms, but whatever. I wish I had a camera of Brad, because he'll go out in our sunroom with his coffee and he starts going through his phone. And this is usually what happens. Andrea, did you see that email from so-and-so on 123 Main Street? No, Brad, I didn't. Well, blah, 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 blah. I said, listen, you are hijacking my morning. It is prior to 9 a.m. I am not responding. There is no 911 emergency. And then we usually get in a little tiny argument, and then I just leave and go do my walk. Is that not an accurate thing?
Yeah. I mean, that would be pretty accurate.
Sometimes PT gets pulled in, because we might shoot a text to PT saying, Brad, PT, did you see so-and-so's message?
Yeah. And there are times, like, I love the routine thing, but would you all agree, though, what I'm getting to here is that it's not like a normal job where you wake up at 7 or 6:30 or what have you, and then you go and then you go on your morning walk, and then you come back, and then you eat breakfast, and then you're in the office at 9, and then you leave at 5. That's not real estate.
What's breakfast?
I eat breakfast every day. The same breakfast too. 2 eggs over easy, bagel, cream cheese, and coffee.
Whoa! You make yourself 2 fried eggs every morning?
A bagel, cream cheese, and coffee. Yeah.
Brad.
Yeah.
Brad, you want to know how you can serve me better, Brad?
Oh, gosh. See, this is what happens: is a can of worms.
Yeah. then the can of worms. Yes. Now this goes back to really you and I, Andrea.
You and me and
how
all
would
the
you
people.
say that you being married, which is another layer here, how do you juggle that in the real estate business?
I think that I've learned over time that I just have to put well, you know what? It's not even over time. When AirPods came out with noise cancellation.
Well, now they can translate too.
I want those so bad. No, there are times, and Brad knows this, I legit put in my headphones and I put them on noise cancellation so I can do what I need to do, because otherwise, and we've talked about this on other podcasts, it takes me twice as long to get ready to do what I need to do, because he's asking me questions or my phone's going off or messages or whatever. And so you're just not as productive. So, I mean, that's what it is, but it's just really like, it's tough. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's the best thing ever that we get to work together, but it's also the worst thing ever that we get to work together.
And I really think a part of it is that, you're wanting to be so good to your clients. At times your spouse or significant others sees the worst part, that you're just tired at the end of the day and you're just tired of dealing with things. Would you not agree, Andrea?
PT, you've seen enough. I think I would agree.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty common. I really think. So getting back with you, PT, what's a normal daily rhythm if you had a perfect day of the real estate business? So you wake up.
Yep,
you like the snot?
But he works out though. So let's go from when you wake up. Well, when you wake up to when you start work.
Yep. There's a snooze maybe once in a while. Depends on how late the TV stays on at night, because that's kind of my I don't know. It's not a great habit to have, like watching TV before bed. But once again, something they tell you not to do. But wake up, hit the snooze button once, get on my phone. My goal is to be out of the door to the gym within about 30 minutes, which probably never happens. But really, to get me going and for me to be the most efficient in the day, I have to work out. There's people that can work out in the morning, can't work out at night, and the reverse of that too. But for me, it's if I'm going to be on my best for the day, it's getting to the gym and then starting my day. So trying to get that out of the way as quick as possible to get that done. But I think the most interesting, and we'll probably talk about it down the road here, is I feel that I'm more proficient as the day goes on, which is weird. But my mornings I must be more of a night person than a morning person.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the opposite, that I always like to do the hardest things right away in the morning. And if it's like 5 or 6 and I have to deal with something major, if it has to be dealt with that night, I'll do it.
Right.
If not, I'll shove it to the next day, and then I'll wake up and get it taken care of. That I just at some point run out of energy when it comes to that. Now, clients out there, if there's an urgent thing, of course, we'll
Right.
take care of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I'm on the same page as you, PT. Like, I used to be a morning person because I used to have to be like at events at the hotel like 6 in the morning. I have to be there. But then, so that kind of made me not be a morning person. But like especially recently, and I think it's just, I mean, our business is just booming, and there's just so many other things we're involved in our community and different things we're doing. I mean, I like joke to myself. I'm like, how much earlier do I need to get up in the day? Like, I feel like like I even thought about this, like maybe I should start getting up at 6 a.m. But then I'm like, we're going to hit daylight savings time. So really that's going to be like 5 a.m. And, but I mean, I think you have to train yourself. I mean, I know we talked about this when you and I mean, Brad and I used to be a 7:30 person.
Yeah.
And then one day, I don't know, a year ago, 2 years ago, probably 2 years ago, maybe 3.
Probably.
We just made the decision that we could do it. And so we just started, like, for a week, we'd get up 15 minutes earlier that whole week. And then the next week it was another 15 minutes earlier. And then your body just gets used to it, which is good and bad, because when you're on vacation, you still wake up.
Just like you said, PT, I mean, you're really good later on in the day. I'm really good earlier on in the day. As the day goes on, the worse I get. Right. I mean, so.
I'm better in the afternoon too.
Well, yeah. and I believe though that, everyone has their strengths, and you'll figure that out as you do your day to day and your week to week. But there are ways, like Andrew mentioned, that you can train yourself to do. Your body can do amazing things, and if you prep correctly to do so, if you go to bed earlier, you read a book before you go to bed instead of watching TV or be on your phone. I mean, there are proven ways to potentially get to where you want to be on your day to day.
Well, there's no question. And your brain always tells you that you can't first, but you can actually do more than what your brain tells you.
Well, and Brad and I got Aura rings. Well, actually, I got mine first.
Yeah, you did.
And then Brad had to copy me. But that is also, I will say, I mean, if it's something, Christmas is coming up for those of you, or if you had a birthday coming up or whatever, I'd be asking for one of those, because it definitely tells you, and you learn what things that if I do this, this, and this before I go to bed, I'm not going to sleep as well. Yep. Good. And it's going to take me longer to fall asleep. And then the next day is not going to be as productive. So I highly recommend that get an Aura. I mean, Brad and I, that is a competition for us. And we always
ask every morning, did I tell you what I was this morning? I was at 95 for sleep and 91 readiness.
That's incredible. Mine was 89 and 87.
Well, that's still pretty good
for me.
So now we all work at home from time to time, which has totally changed. Back when I got in the business, everybody worked in the office. I mean, that's just kind of what you did. It was starting, I really shouldn't say everybody, it was starting to kind of go home a little bit, but now a lot of agents solely work at home. And are rarely in the office. What are some of the challenges? And I could probably answer that over at our house, the ringing doorbell, that the you have barking at home when you're working, PT.
Yeah, I mean, anything and everything, right? I mean, there's food. You have a laptop in front of you. I mean, everything. Once you have some type of downtime, or there isn't something in front of you, it's much easier for yourself to drift and not be productive. So that's just kind of naturally what the brain does, is if something isn't being used properly, then they move on to the next thing. So there's a million different distractions, and I'm just blessed to be able to have a place to go to force myself to be productive. And I feel like if you're having the same issue of being at home and you feel like that there's nothing going on, change the environment, go to a coffee shop if you don't have an office, or go to a library, something where you can continually go to say, hey, this is where I'm going to be productive. This is where I'm going to do my work.
Yeah. I personally am, and I know everybody's different, but I get a lot more done at the office than I do at home.
And I get a lot more done at home than the office, because everybody asks me questions, which is great. And I love it. But I also do think too, like, and this, I think we're both like this. But if it's a normal work day and I have things that I need to do, I mean, I need to get up, I need to do my normal routine, I need to get ready for the day. I mean, there's days that I'll get ready for the day, like I have appointments, but I don't even leave. And I laugh because I'm like, I did my hair and my makeup and all that stuff, but I never left the house, that day, which is kind of funny. But for you, I mean, if Brad's leaving the house, I mean, Brad's got to, be all.
Well, what I've really noticed is the ones that do work at home pretty well, they have a dedicated space where they do their real estate business. That's all they do in that room. So I really think that's one of the things here that's helped us out a lot is that there's a dedicated office. And I don't like being in an office with like other people necessarily.
We love all of you at Buy Sell Build.
No. What I mean by that is like in the same office, like on top of each other, which it just makes it a little harder to work. But what's really funny is we moved Nikki into our office and she literally
She puts her earphones in. Mm-hmm.
AirPods. So it's great. So it's one of those, if I need to talk to her, I'll like look over and then she'll take her AirPods out. But really, we're in there to work, which is great.
Wait, hold on. So you actually recognize that she's wearing the AirPods rather than me. Brad talks to me from the other room multiple times when at home, and then he'll come in and I'll be working and he'll look at me and then I'll take my AirPods on and go, "Didn't you hear me?"
I always tell Andrea this. Our home was built by a general contractor. And every wall has insulation in between it, which is not normal, just so you all know.
It's also not normal to be made out of plaster and not...
No, this is drywall.
No.
When you're talking, when you're trying to talk, that's plaster. If you're trying to talk across the house...
Can't hear it.
No.
Well, plus we're getting old. But
No.
You know what else is, for those of you that are listening to this is also really unique about us, is that we actually live kitty corner from each other.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy because I'll just be working and I'll hear my garage door open and I'll think it's Brad, but really it's BT. And, when we need to have a meeting or a conversation, back in, whatever it is, like we just, PT just comes on over. He just walks across the street.
Absolutely.
It's just
or the office
makes
is
it
5
easier.
minutes down the road.
It's right.
How do you feel about living across the street from us, PT?
It's fine. I enjoy it because stuff just gets done quicker. Yeah. So if it's needed, or you need something on the way home.
When you move, can you make sure you stay real close here?
That's the goal.
Okay.
I hope so.
Yeah, that would be great. Just so you're right around the corner. I mean, there's a lot of houses around the neighborhood here. It'd be great.
I'm going to create a loft in the office. That's what I'm
there you go. So that's a good point. I mean, we have
transom or what the previous contractor call it.
I have no idea.
What he called
mezzanine.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. So because we do have the office really close, that makes it very convenient, of course. What is something, so other than, you obviously have us here to support you, but what other systems and people kind of help you out too? What makes your day run a little smoother?
A cell phone.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah. And, it's, I believe, extremely hard, especially for my generation and younger generations, to break the philosophy or the thought process of just sending out a text. It's quicker. I've learned, and I just absolutely hate texting to get an answer or anything. I just make a phone call and you'll get that answer immediately. Right. So that's the biggest thing. I just
plus when you're driving, it's a lot safer. Yes, don't text and drive.
Yeah, plus when I voice text, those of you who get my voice text, just, I do know proper grammar. I do know how to spell. I do know how to speak. But Siri, like when I say want to, she puts wanna. WAA,
yes,
and then I'm like, I can speak.
Well, they're coming out with these AirPods that can translate. Can we please translate Andrea's voice to text, please? Someone over.
I think we need to buy those this weekend.
I don't think you can just buy them.
I think you can.
Where?
They come out on Friday.
Well, there we go.
Okay, but while we're talking about those AirPods, because this is really funny, and I just want to say this: those of you who get your nails done, this is the best thing ever. I'm gonna. You've got pedicure.
Toenails.
I'm going to wear those AirPods. And when the nail people start talking about you and you wonder what they're saying, well, guess what? We're going to know what you're saying now.
You're right.
Oh, my goodness.
So, Andrea, what are some of the systems that you use to keep your day moving? Other than me, of course.
I just said AirPods on noise cancellation. No. And it's funny. PT says his cell phone. I mean, my cell phone's really important, but honest to God, do not disturb on my cell phone keeps my day moving. Mm-hmm. And then I'll take it off and then check what I need to check. And then I'll put it back on do not disturb because that's the only way I can get anything done. Because otherwise it rings nonstop. We use a CRM called Follow Up Boss. That is key. And In addition to that, I don't know. I mean,
A car's good.
Car's always
Yeah.
good.
a vehicle. I mean, biking's fine, but not quite the
Yeah,
same.
I really think, the cell phone, huge. I mean, I would agree with you, PT. That's like your lifeline. Like it's got in with all these apps, Follow Boss, a good
Right.
example. It's all right there in the palm of your hands.
I love my cell phone, but honest to God, and you guys know this, like I want to be at my desk and my PC and my big screen. Like
Yeah.
I get more because I can do dual screen, so I can do two things at once. So cell phone. I mean, I need my cell phone. I can't survive without that. But
Yeah, I'm kind of cell phone first and then PC
Right.
if I need it.
do you even use a PC? Don't you have a Mac or something? I guess
No,
it's
yeah,
a
but
PC.
I have a dual monitor, and,
Yeah.
and once you get one of those, you
Yeah, you can't
can't
go
work on it. You can't even work on your laptop. It's
Yeah.
like I'm gonna bang my head.
Like you
Yeah.
have to have the big screen
Yeah,
to see everything. Okay, so let's go into another topic here, which I really think is interesting. So we know that selling real estate at times can be an emotional roller coaster. Give me an example, each of you, of a day when you had a win and a loss, and what did those look like
Oh, geez.
in the same day?
In the same day. Well, I mean, the biggest thing I believe is, if there ever is a win, it's probably finding a solution or helping somebody do something. There's losses probably provided every single day, and it's just your mindset and how you attack it. The biggest thing I believe as an industry that probably could improve is the way that we communicate together. It's very easy to, right? We talked about fire hosing and responding as soon as we can. There's situations that can avoid and probably be handled better if we just take a step back and not respond within 10 to 15 minutes, really think through what needs to be done, communicate it, and move on. So just understanding, throughout your day, there's ways that you have a choice to either attack it this way or the other way. And, as long as you take a step back and really think through it, we're problem solvers. It's the biggest thing.
That's a great point, PT. I have, the older I get, the more that I don't just reactively respond to people. It's an emotional business at times, and our job is to keep the emotions down. So when you get an email that, you want to just respond back really quickly and you want to say something that you might regret later, just let it rest for a little while. And I'll tell you what, 9.9 times out of 10, you'll be glad that you did, that your response will calm down the whole situation.
Well, we had an example, just recently, where there were 3-4 separate entities in this transaction, and each person was looking for one thing, and each person also said they couldn't move forward without these separate different things. And so, everyone's sending emails. You got 15 emails in your inbox, and they're all asking for separate things. Okay, let's put our minds together here. What is it going to take? And it turns out it was just one thing.
Yeah.
And you call the person and you resolve it and you go from there. And it's just like
wins and losses. A win for me is if my day goes exactly as I plan in the morning and I am sitting at my desk ready to go by 9 a.m. without any other distractions, because that's how I'm most productive. That's a win. A loss is when I sit down at my desk and then 10 things I allow them to control from 9 o'clock on instead of the things that are on my schedule time blocked. And then all of a sudden it's 3 o'clock and I don't have the things that I need to have done for the day, because that bothers me. Like I don't like that at all. And then I end up working till 8, 9 o'clock at night because I can't shut it off. Like Brad knows this. He'll come home, and if he's out at showings or something and we're listing appointment, he'll come home and I'll be at my computer and it's 8:30. He's like, "What are you doing? Still working?" Yeah. But I don't like leaving it till the next day. That's my weakness. Like I would rather just get it done, so then the next day I can start with the next day stuff. So
yeah, I don't really think it's a weakness. It's just, and that's the way that you operate. So mine, I would say, in the real estate business, the most common example is and I'm going to go in reverse. So a loss. So say in the morning, there's a deal that completely falls apart. And then in the evening, one gets put together. It's just
that
like you go
every day,
up and down, up and down. And I really think with life and in real estate deals, we're more worried about what we think is going to happen than what really happens. Right. So I really think if you just get into a mindset that, hey, is this going to matter 5 years from now?
Right.
Most things, no.
Or 5 days from now. I mean, I remember before I was in the business with you, you used to call me, in 2006, 5-ish, when we started dating, whatever. And you would call and it would like Nikki, I should have this conversation with Nikki, because I'm sure she remembers this. Like, you would call and you'd be so worked up about some deal and you'd be like, this and that's going on and la, 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 la. And I'd be, I'd calm you down. And then like, you'd call me back like at 3:00 and I'd be like, so what happened with Jimmy? And you'd be like, oh, it's all fine. We're closing tomorrow, or it's fine. They're fixing the roof, or I'm like, and so I think that I kind of had a little bit of a benefit of that when I got into the business with you, because I'd already experienced it outside of the business to know that like 9 out of 10 times it's going to work itself out.
And then if it doesn't, it usually works itself out later.
Yeah, you just do only all that you can do to control the situation, and that's it.
Well,
you can't do anything else.
And realistically, we all just want a solution here now and right at the same second. But just what I said, it takes time to develop and work its way out. Someone might just, had a previous bad phone call before you, and really they're not mad at the situation you're bringing up. It's somebody, it's an outside source. So, like you mentioned, something could have flipped in the morning and then everything's fine.
That's
after.
fine.
How many times have you had someone where you probably had an interaction that was conceived as negative, and then 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour later, they call back and apologize or just something happens like that?
Well, I mean, let's just go to your closing that you were at this last Friday. I mean, that's the emotional roller coaster of real estate. So everybody gets to the closing, everything's good, great. And then the CD comes out and the closing agent is like, I can't close it. And then one person didn't want to sign. So we waited around for a couple of hours, or I shouldn't say you all did. And
Brad was in CE.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, they did sign, and then all of a sudden everybody's happy. Right. So, I mean, the emotional roller
I
coasters
don't know
of
if
just
everybody was happy, but
2.5 hour closing, it's, yeah. So that's just one good example there. Let's go back to the family thing. What are the pros of working as a family?
We've talked about this before. It's trust. You don't have to, I don't have to worry about there's just nothing like, PT's in my office. I don't care what he sees. Right. Yeah. I don't have to worry about what's laying out. I don't have to worry about if he walks in and hears a phone call, unless there's some agency thing and he's on the other side of a deal. But I think we're pretty conscious of that stuff. But it's trust. Yeah. It's trust. You don't have to, and you also know the person's pros or strengths and weaknesses better than anybody else, because you know them and you know them as family. So I think that that's the positive. It's just that instant trust, don't have to explain. And it's a positive, and a negative is like, you don't necessarily have to have a filter, right? Like you can just say it like it is. Whereas with other people, you have to like choose your words wisely and your tact and your tone. But that's also a weakness, because like you've talked about, I mean, then sometimes we just get the brunt of it instead of, talking to each other like normal people, but it also is done quicker.
It is. Yeah.
Mine would be shared vision that, when you work as a family like we have, I mean, we're going on 4 generations strong here. So we all have a pretty similar vision of what we want this to look like, which I really think when you're working as a family and you have history there, that you at least have a background of what this should look like.
Yeah. And there's benefits too, as well, to like, there's been a path created, and it's your job to continue to lay the stone and continue that on too. It's a beautiful mix between what has been done before, but what needs to be done at the same time as well.
Yeah. And I think you just kind of talked about it, Andrea. You really kind of hit on it, strengths and weaknesses, that when you're related to people, there's strengths and weaknesses, which it allows you to put them in the best spots to succeed. I mean, there'll be times when we will be like, maybe PT's a better fit for these clients, or vice versa. Or maybe he's like, I'm not comfortable, so I want to bring in Brad and Andrea, which is a nice little deal that we have going on.
I agree. I also think too, I'm laughing at you when you're saying that strengths and weaknesses and the shared vision, because my new thing right now is when I say something and Brad snaps at me or doesn't want to do it or
No.
complains. PT knows. He's been around enough. My new thing that I say to Brad all the time is I'm like, we're on the same team. We want the same things. Just remember our goals are the same for like the long-term future here. So like, I'm only saying this or asking this because, you know, like, like I want the same things you want. Right.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Client relationships too. Let's go on to that. How that becomes part of the family too. Like we always kind of talk about how the majority of our clients, I shouldn't even say the majority, the vast majority of our clients become almost like family, right? Explain how that kind of works, BT.
Well, you end up spending a ton of time together when you're actually working together in a relationship. Where you learn about everybody and you talk to them multiple times throughout a day or week. And that just allows not only trust to be built, but you find connections in what you either like to do or you don't like to do. And so once you know that, somebody likes to watch, the Illini football or the Bears or the Cubs, or you like to go golfing or go to the coffee shop. The similarities come together and you find people that you like to be around.
Yep.
Well, and sense. I would say, and this just happened, which I just actually made a note because I'm not sure what's going on with this particular buyer right now. But I mean, you guys probably do because I don't stay as on top of them as you do. But I'm just curious because I
Certainly
love him.
Not. We are all over these people.
Okay. Anyway, it's a buyer client that is buying their first home, and we've worked with the parents, we've worked with the grandparents. We've worked with other family members, and it's just so cool because you think about, okay, so that's this is a third generation of their family that we're going to be working with, and PT's helping them. And like, all I could think about, and I think I actually text PT and said this because the mom had written this really nice message to us about how excited she was that we were helping her son buy his first home and his wife. And I said to PT, I said, just think about this. So you're the fourth generation, you're working with the third generation. They're going to obviously have kids. Mm-hmm. You are likely going to be working with their kids like that. Really, I mean, cool. That's so cool. So cool.
Totally agree. So how do we incorporate, we've had this name in the real estate business for a long time, but how do we incorporate that with our clients? How do we give them that family feel experience rather than just a regular real estate agent that they're calling? How are we different?
Well, the blessing is that it's a known and trusted name, right? I mean, there's one story that comes to mind every single time. There was this, the older couple, and the husband had passed away. And I remember when we went over on the listing consultation, he said, one of his last wishes was just for Brad to sell the condo. And so, they were a friend of my grandparents, and just those things, if you do a really good job of just being hyper local and in your community and building great relationships, not only do they trust that certain person at that time, they trust everybody behind them as well.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I mean, I remember going and on listing appointments with Brad when I first got in the business, in 2007, 2008. And it was the cutest little thing. Like we'd go to houses, and I can remember, and I wonder if she's Hutton, remember her?
Yeah.
She was so cute. Yeah. And her kids had hired us to sell her house, and she couldn't live there anymore, and she lost her husband, but she had a Bowie sign from the big, I think it's still in our office, actually our real office, the metal one from back in the day. And she's like, oh my gosh, your grandma helped me buy my first home. And I'm like, that's just crazy to me. Right. But I think it goes deeper than that. It goes back to, not that you can't have business partners that you trust, because we have great business partners in our bigger picture of our business, but in our Bowie family business, it's a different level of it's not a handoff, right? It's like that, that saying, you're keeping it all in the family. It's like, if there's something that, PT can't help someone with, or we can't help someone with, and we have to have one or the other, or we're not available, you don't have to worry about them not being taken care of. And they instantly, well, first of all, PT shows up and he looks like he's Brad's son. So if they haven't met him, they're good regardless. But I think that's the thing that I think is
just that instant trust.
Instant trust.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And you just mentioned it, and that's happened a few times. Well, actually a lot of times in our real estate career, that's so-and-so wanted you to sell the home that they've known our family for generations, basically, right? And they want you to sell it, which is really heartwarming, right? I mean, that to really think about that, like you said, Andrea, to hear people that said that they knew my grandmother
Right.
in the real estate business, who are alive still, is just, it warms my heart.
And I'm sure it happens not just like, I mean, I'm sure people are realtors that have parents that were friends with people that they know their grandchild or whatever is a realtor. So I'm sure that happens for people outside of it. It's just super cool for us because we are all realtors. So
Yeah. So let's go on to the next topic here about family get-togethers, which we've talked about this on a few podcasts. How do we keep real estate out of being the main focus of the conversation of every family dinner? Which I don't think we do a great job of it.
We
But
do.
You don't.
Oh, horrible job.
You can't. It's almost inevitable, but I don't know. The good thing is that we have other interests outside as a whole family. Sports, just different things like mainly
Other
sports.
interests like sports.
Yeah, sports.
Other interests like sports.
yeah,
So, and the biggest is entertaining Grandpa and how you can kind of get him going on the Cubs once in a while, or the Bears or Illinois, but so that's kind of our diverter, I would say.
No, I would totally say that. Next thing, so when we meet as the three of us, and we're trying to strategize, how do we keep our family relationship kind of out of it and just keep it strictly business?
You have me.
True.
Yeah,
That's very true. That's very true.
it's a game too. I mean, there's I mentioned earlier, there's, depending on the time of day, right around this time, some of the dumb talk comes out, and it depends on the situation. If you read the room pretty quickly, if it's going to be more serious or more laid back.
Yeah.
Dumb talk.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. If only you people
No, we'll explain that another time.
Oh Lord.
So obviously the wins are awesome too, and we've become very good at celebrating those wins, which is always fun. And that
good
makes
bottle of wine.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
We taught
have a lot in
PT to
common.
like wine.
Until Ivy Grace knocks it over because I said that was a big one.
That's what, but we got a better rug because of it. Our new rug. Now, PT, you're going to be staying
Blessing
here,
in
and
disguise.
you better watch that rug.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no, that's not. I don't know if I'll.
Oh wait, that was that one bottle that we opened.
Yeah,
Oh, I forgot. I was thinking of the one when Brad spilled it all over the rug.
multiple. There's multiple.
I'm sorry.
times.
The dog spilled it all over the rug. Yeah, okay.
because it wouldn't have
Mhm.
been in the wrong
Yeah,
spot. Or
no.
anything.
I think we're really good about that, though. Like, I think we try to be anyway. PT has his girlfriend, though. She doesn't live as close. She doesn't live across the street.
A little ways away.
Some
yep.
nights he can't have the nice wine with us.
It's
Yeah.
very true. So
We got to solve that problem.
generational.
She's not a problem. We like her.
When you look at grandma to my dad to us to you, what do you see as the similarities, PT, and what do you see as the how you're different?
Oh boy, similarities. We love where we live, right?
Mhm.
The Quad Cities. It's home. It's where we've all grown up. It's where we've raised families. We've had family together, and we're all here, right? I was born out in California, and then we moved to Chicago, but we ended up here when I was 5, and this is all I've known as home, right? So this is home. I want other people to make this home. So it's super special in that similarity way of all of us. And then, that's kind of the biggest driver at the end of the day.
Yep, that makes total sense. And I would say the biggest difference between the original generation and us, and I am just going to summarize this really, really quickly. MLS books and not having it out to the public to social media. I mean, that's a big change. And that's basically changed in the last 25 years. So you can imagine how that was before.
Well, I've told this story, and he's actually probably going to listen to this, but this had to be within the last either year or two. But Grandpa, he was asking about an offer, and he's like, "So did you go and present it?" And I said, "No." I said we sign electronically, and we just sent it via email. And he was like, "Oh wow, that was like a year ago." So yes, we do electronically submit offers.
Yes, we do. So a lot of people would argue that real estate is a very difficult business. Like, what made each of us get into the real estate business? And I'll let you start, PT, and then we'll go to Andrea, and then we'll go to myself.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, when I first started, it wasn't really decided on what was going to happen, but it just pulls you in. You see what great grandma and grandpa have done before you, and Brad and Andrea, and there's just something about continuing on the Bowie name in the market, and having the opportunity to do so is probably the most enticing thing of it all.
Andrea.
Well, I started dating Mr. Real Estate. So,
well, I wouldn't have called myself that at the time.
Well,
maybe
okay, I'm sorry.
from a real estate family.
I started, yes, dating like one of the real estate families in the Quad Cities, which I had no idea he was one of the real estate families. And I mean that, in a jokingly way, but yes, you were. I mean, obviously people know your family and they associate with real estate. But yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. And I was just at a plateau in my career, and I was ready for the next thing. And I also just always had that vision of like owning my own business. So I looked at real estate as a way for us to own our own business, which I thought that's what I was doing, but then I realized I wasn't. So the brokerage switch we made a couple of years ago, really now we feel like, it is operating our own business, and we're entrepreneurs, or what I tell you, shareholders
right.
in our own business. So we're all shareholders in that business, and that's a cool thing. So
yeah, no, that makes total sense. And myself, I was going to go to law school, and then I decided in college that I didn't want to do that. There's a history of law in our family as well. My grandpa was a judge lawyer, and my uncle was a judge lawyer as well, and they did very, very well. And then I got into the business that my junior year. I decided that I wanted to try real estate. That I learned the older that I got that I'm a lot more like my dad. So I really thought, well, I kind of have his personality, so I can potentially try this. And now we're 25 years later, and we're here. Yeah, and I have zero regrets. Mm-hmm. Well, to wrap this up, what is the number one thing that you like about real estate and working as a family?
I believe there's one word that's been used this entire podcast is trust, right? You hear all of the things that are probably minority issues within a family business, that the reason why some of them don't work out. But being able to go day in and day out working with people that you trust, I believe is actually a rarity. I mean, I can't imagine being in a corporate atmosphere with, there's probably a higher probability that you don't trust or work well with people within your coworkers. So being able to do that and trust, and that's one, everyone's intention is in the same place, and everyone's eyes are on the same goal.
Yep.
Yeah. And for me, it would be the people. I just think it's just looking back over, the years and the people that we've just really gotten to know, the families and the individuals, and just continuing to watch them grow and their families grow, and meeting other parts of their family. And, to me, that's just the coolest thing. And now being able to know that, when Brad and I do get to a point where we're not doing the day-to-day buyers and sellers on a regular basis, to know that they still get to work with a member of our family, that's a cool thing. So, yeah.
No, I would agree with all that. I love those. Mine's loyalty, that we love loyal clients, right? And what's great about working with you guys is I know that you're loyal to me, and that's
I should
huge.
Hope so.
Well, no, I mean that's huge. That I never have to worry about. We're always going to do the right thing, and I really enjoy working with both of you. So
this was kind of a serious podcast,
yes.
And it's about dumb talk hour. So
that's right.
We're getting there.
That's a wrap.